And the way I've got things kind of planned out today, I'm not really sure if it's going to work, but I'm going to give it a try. We'll do this for about 2.5, 3 hours, and then I'm going to shoot up to Boeing Field about 5 miles from here and stream from there a little bit later in the day. Maybe catch some UPS flights in and out of Boeing Field. They looks like they're getting heavy aircraft. There's, I believe, a 767, two 767s coming in a little bit later. So keep an eye on that. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. The channel is new. So, you know, we're based here in Seattle, and we tend to come here to SeaTac when it's a north flow and position ourselves on the south end of the airport. We're right underneath the flight path for a lot of these landing aircraft. But today is, north flow, and yeah, that's what I said. And then today's the south flow, so we're going to hang from here for the time being. I might try other spots later on, but this is where we're going to be perched for today. Oh, my favorite aircraft, the 175. I'm kidding. This is my least liked aircraft. You ever flown in one of those things that's cramped? Ugh. You will find that I'm tend to be a little bit opinionated, but that's, I wouldn't be me if I didn't have an opinion about something. Let's see, do we have a landing aircraft coming in here? Yes, we do. 757 from Shanghai. Oh, sorry. Nope. Where are you? There you are. Dip in below the trees. That is not a 757. What did they say it is? So this is what we have to contend with, where this current location is. Aircraft just disappear behind the trees. So we can catch our guys taking off here, and then we have a very narrow window where we can catch them landing off on the west side of the field. Okay, so he's clearly going over to center. So that was a 350 that landed. What's up, Mr. Tom Arnold? Welcome in. This is a rarity for me. I actually have 3 days off in a row. So I decided I was going to take this day and just do all my streaming. I loaded up my little data plan and decided I'm just going to come out here and do it all day long. Come the weather. They said it's supposed to warm up to close to 70 degrees here. I don't believe it, but we'll see. This is the typical marine layer that we get here at in Seattle. Let's see, get our audio. Oh, that's good. Probably don't need it. That's what we need to. Okay, there we go. Now we got the aircraft noise. We have a landing flight here. Yep. Lufthansa, look at that. A340. Going behind the trees. So, in case you haven't noticed, we have 2 sets of departing aircraft and 1 arrival. Seattle International has 3 runways. They are spaced such that you can conduct operations, but they do have to stagger them. You can have operations on both runways, but they do have to stagger the flights. Whereas the 16 right, which is way out, that one, they can conduct landing and departing simultaneously. All right, let's kind of go back to our map view here, see what we see. I don't know why those planes are turned sideways, but okay, whatever.
No worries.
See you later. And next up, going to Bellingham. Okay, so Bellingham, if you're not familiar with the area, Bellingham, whatever you want to say. It's about, hour, 20-minute drive, hour and a half from where I'm standing right now, traffic permitting, of course. So, the way people tend to operate around here is that they'll take a flight, international flight, they'll fly into Seattle because the international flights really don't go into Bellingham, and then they'll take the commuter, end up close to home. They don't have to worry about driving home after being on a flight for 10 hours. Kind of like that plan.
Delta 280 Heavy at Quebec. Hold for
We got coming in here. All right, we have a Delta taxiing on A321. Where are you at? Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Headed out to Fort Lauderdale. That's a haul. And do we have any arrivals coming in next? Next up on arrivals, probably 175. Yes, from Vancouver. And who's in line after that? Another 175 from Pasco. It's just okay. I'm not going to worry about landing traffic for a little bit here. There's a stream of 175s coming. Oh, JetBlue. Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's better. That's too loud. It's interesting, Trucker Norm. Bellingham is, it's got, actually, when I was in the brewing industry, that was one of the cool places you could go get some good craft beer. I don't do that anymore, so it's not one of those things that I actively go up there for. But they have great views, and actually, the nature, the scenery there is pretty spectacular. But I got Mount Baker off in the distance, and yeah, it's a nice place. Pip. Pipe down.
United 2192 ILS 16 right.
United 2192 Seattle Tower 2106 runway 16 right, clear to wait.
Runway 16 right, clear to land, United 2192.
United 2192, traffic at your 11 o'clock, about 3 miles northbound. Altitude indicates 700 feet. Type unknown, and it looks like they're in the downwind differential.
hopefully we'll be able to catch some heavies coming through here. More heavies, you know, just not these little wimpy 175s. But I'm sure we're going to catch some. It just depends on timing and everything. But like I said, we'll probably stay here till 3 local, which is in 2 hours. We'll see how this all goes.
Passing off your left now, full northbound, no factor.
Roger, inside United 2192.
Tell you what, Trucker Norm, sure felt like the summer here yesterday. As I was doing my show prep for today with everything, sitting in my studio, which is on the top floor of the house, and the way the sun hits the house, we don't have air conditioning up here, right? It's not nearly warm enough throughout the year to justify central air for a lot of people. I personally, growing up in New Orleans, I personally prefer having air conditioning whenever the heck I want it. But we have to use, airflow through the house to kind of cool things down. But that top floor, man, it just becomes an oven in the afternoon. It's just, it's so oppressive. All the equipment in the studio and everything.
Here's 2013. No, you can stay with me.
Pip, you'd be interested to know that we've had a few looky-loos come through at this spot. But generally speaking, there's nobody here. There's nobody. Nobody wants to brave the cold, and I guess they're just fair weather plane spotters. But yeah, there's nobody here right now, which is fine with me because I look like I'm talking to myself. So it's not the best look. Of course, in Seattle, that kind of fits. So I'm not really worried about it. All right, let's take a look and see what we see here. Okay, that 175 that's taken off is actually on its way to Idaho Falls, and it's probably going to pop up behind the 737 on the active any second here. There it is. All right, let's take a look. I swear, anytime I touch this camera rig, this whole zoom lens, because I'm zoomed all the way in. Okay, coming in. Whoa, is this correct? All right, we've got an Alaska 7879 on short final. Awesome. So we're going to step away from that. This dude's going to be here any moment. Of course, most of you, if you're in the plane spotting, have more than likely seen this newly painted Alaska. Let's see, where did he go? There we go. So we'll see. Should see him pop out somewhere right around there. You can see him right here. So we should see the... I see it right there. Just saw it on the other side of the trees. Okay, here we go. Full screen. Let's do it.
Horizon 2013, monitor tower 119.9 today.
South Tower, good afternoon.
There you are.
ILS 16 right.
3274 Seattle Tower, good afternoon. 12206, right.
There you go. Hope you all enjoyed that, 10 seconds?
16 right, clear to land, got 3274.
It's worth it. It's worth it to catch that plane every now and then. It's such that livery is just so nice. I personally like it a lot. I was kind of iffy about it when I first saw it compared to the old Alaska standard livery, but I like it now. I'm into that thing. So we're gonna see a lot more of those we've got flights going to Rome now. We're gonna be some other flights for Alaska going over to Europe really soon here. There it is. So yeah, well, I'm looking forward to being able to
Alaska 120 heavy, turn left on Quebec, hold for
see some more of that aircraft around here.
Sierra 7 is occupied.
Southwest. Let's see here.
Alaska
Southwest.
120 heavy, Might actually be open, but it looks like maybe the ramp is not quite
Southwest
ready
is
for you
going to
yet.
San Jose. Yes, I said that incorrectly on purpose. Oh, yeah. Hope everybody's having a great day. This is Memorial Day weekend in the United States for those of you who don't live in this part of the world. So for a lot of people, it's a 3-day weekend that starts today, or last night if you want to count Friday evening. And so, yeah, there's just actually the traffic was not that bad getting down here, which was unusual. But, yeah, so everybody's out. Well, eventually they'll be barbecuing and stuff like that. But, yeah, this is a pretty busy day here at the airport. I guess it's kind of a typical Saturday. All right, so this is another one going to San Jose.
Follow is current altimeter 3002.
Say that here. And let us see if we have anything else on. Oh, we do have. Oh, no, that's not what I want. Come on, man. They sprinkle in these heavy. I didn't do my heavy alert. Oh, well, I'll do that next time. Somebody's supposed to remind me, but. Sandy, Utah. Can't imagine that being a very cool place right now in terms of temperature. All right. And if we take a look here and see what our Delta flight is, A321 going to LAX.
Yeah, 3274, hold short of runway 16 center. Yeah, 3274, monitor tower 119.9, good day.
Tower Tower, Alaska 9803, approaching pink 16 right.
Alaska 9803, Seattle Tower 2106, runway 16 right, here today.
Thank you, 16 right, clear to land, Alaska 9803.
Oh, they're coming to get me. Okay, that flight that just came in was from Burbank, 737 at least. This is an interesting. So let's see. If I'm looking at the queue here, let's take a look. Let's see what the lineup is on the runway. That's the Delta flight. This is, let's see, that's going to Chicago. 737 MAX 8. And we got another 737-900 going to Minneapolis. Another Alaska going to St. Louis. Right behind that, 737-990. Another Alaska. Getting a theme here. This is why this is known as Alaska's hub, because it is.
120 heavy monitor tower 119.9, good day.
American 2520 for 16 right.
American 2520, Seattle Tower 12306.
All right, back full screen here.
Clear to land 16 right, American 2520.
If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Appreciate you stopping in. This is Geaux Flying. We are based here in Seattle, and I would normally hit SeaTac, Boeing Field, every now and then Payne Field up north in Everett, and wherever our vehicle takes us. Of course, these days it's not taking us very far, at least for the same amount of money. Trucker Norm has got to be kicking your butt, the gas prices, especially diesel. I'm assuming you're driving a diesel. But if not, I saw diesel prices up here. They're ridiculous.
Alaska 9803, monitor tower 119.9. Good day.
Fairly active day here at SeaTac. I can switch over here while we're waiting, but you can see the way the flow is. You can look on the left-hand side, or basically dead center, the aircraft landing. That's American 737 that just touched down. That's 16 right. That's what they're using for landing. You can see the planes down in the lower portion here. They kind of make their way back to the terminal, right where the little map pin is, and then they will split the departures here between the current runway where that Alaska is, and then the runway immediately to the right of it. So she just gave that aircraft a hold short of 16 center, so I guess they're going to stack them up here, load them in. This is how they get the planes out faster. Landing traffic doesn't appear to be terribly busy, so this is a great way for them to get these aircraft out on time. Bye-bye. Hope everybody's having a good start to their weekend. I know I am. This is my day 2 of 3 off. I actually am going to be working on Memorial Day, but I'll take the holiday pay for that. No big deal. But 3 days off in a row is a rarity for me at my job, so I'll take it. Because I was looking at the schedule for the next 3 weeks. I think this is my only little time off where I can do this kind of stuff. So I'm just going to load up on some live streams, and then I'll have to go dark for a little bit until I have another time to get out to the airport. I'm sure the boss pays for it, but I'm wondering, the boss has got to be hurting right now in terms of fuel costs. I think I have a little Japanese fire truck that's diesel, and I was looking at the gas prices. I'm not moving that thing. I mean, here in Seattle, diesel is at like a grocery store, like a grocery store gas station. I'm not talking like AM, PM, or ARCO or anything like that. I'm talking about, just the larger grocery store, and even Costco. Costco does diesel at a couple locations here, but it's over $7. It's approaching $8 in some locations per gallon. Wow, that is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. All right, so what do we got coming up here is United A321 on its way to Denver. Of course, Denver, where our Mr. Tim Arnold lives now. Hope it's going well for you up there, buddy. Yep, got to do my dance here because it is. Yeah, I figured your tanks. I figured they were big. I think I think the little fire truck I've got, Trucker Norm, is, I want to say, no more than 13 gallons for the tank. But even still, driving that thing around, it is a 660cc engine, so it's like driving a go-kart. I may hit 70 miles an hour going downhill with a tailwind. But otherwise, I'm kind of puttering along on the highway, which I'm not a big fan of. You start getting passed by a Prius, you know, you're in trouble. All right, let's see what else we got coming up. Oh, wow, where's all my aircraft? My inbounds. Okay, here we go. Now we got from Fairbanks, Alaska, another Alaskan 737-900. Keep an eye out for that one. Taking a look at what's happening over at Boeing Field, mostly biz jets. Thinking about going over to Boeing Field, and I've said this on streams there before. Like I said, I'll be going there later today, but the thing about it is that the scheduled flights that come in are generally speaking, they're either general aviation, so they're not scheduled per se, or they won't show up on the strips, or they're test flights that just kind of pop up out of nowhere. And then, you know, like you might catch a 777X or a 737 MAX 7 or a MAX 10 or something like that. But it's just hard to catch them. And I just don't know if Boeing's actually, I mean, I don't know they're working on the weekend with the test flights and stuff like that. Okay, I do see a heavy coming up. All right, back there. And if we tap into that, that is a 787-10 going to Incheon.
Call Seattle Tower, second. R5, go ahead.
While we're waiting for that guy to get his position, we've got that flight from Fairbanks.
R5 +1, Roger. I understand you're near the signature ramp and you want to proceed to Cargo 2 and you want to go down Tango to Charlie?
Coming from behind the trees. There it is.
R5, Roger.
737-900 from Fairbanks.
Quebec, would that be a little bit easier since we have departures the other way?
Tower South is 1097 and 69 final 168.
Okay.
And R5, do you need to go up Tango or can you take Quebec?
So this flight outbound here is going to Redmond, Oregon.
R5 +1, proceed via Quebec. Hold short.
175, 175. Redmond's another interesting place. A lot of people don't know about what, I mean, if you've never driven up here, you know, you think that this whole area looks like what you're seeing. Lots of green, lots of evergreen trees and things like that.
Alaska 295.
No. Once you cross the mountain range, the Cascade Mountain Range, you are in what quickly becomes the high desert. And Redmond, the high desert kind of extends all the way down from Washington State through to Oregon and down into California and Nevada. And what's really interesting about it is that it looks so different from the rest of the state. But Redmond's in that part of Oregon. It's in the high desert area. And that whole area is still famous for great craft beer, great hiking, great outdoor activities, those kinds of things. So here's our Korean with a new livery that most of us, if you're into plane spotting, have seen by now. But here it is in person. I'll get the, I'll turn off the, there we go. You can hear the roar when this thing takes off. Oh, speaking of which.
3935, Seattle Tower, rolling 16 right, clear 2 land.
Clear land, 16 right, 39.
Whoops, that's not what I wanted.
Charlie Buckle, Charlie.
Here it comes! Get ready for the heavy!
Sorry, I forgot all my buttons that I programmed. Didn't mean to do that. So as you can see, the airport is not on a level plateau. There's a little bit of a dip down towards that side. And we should see our Korean pop out somewhere. There it is. There it is. See you later. That's a long flight, folks. Okay, let's take a look and see what else is coming our way in terms of departures and arrivals. Coming up next, we've got
97, turn right Tango, hold short of Quebec. Your gate is occupied.
we've got flight. No, that's not right.
Turn right Tango, hold
Miami
short
to
of
Seattle.
Quebec. Your
Oh,
gate
maybe
is
it's part.
occupied.
Oh, let's see. We've got a United flight. Seattle to Houston, Washington. Sorry, that's Dulles. Another 175 to Portland. San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly. And then Bozeman. So, a bunch of regionals taking off pretty soon here. Get back down on the ground, catch these guys. And let's also find out what is coming in. We got a 175 from Redmond. Alaska 175.
1370, South Tower, rolling strike, clear land.
Kind of late traffic today. I'm pretty sure that this American flight is not going to Miami. Or I'm sorry, it's not it's not coming from Miami. I'm pretty sure this is taking off going to Miami. I think Flight Radar has incorrect data on this particular flight. There they go.
SkyWest 3935 at November, hold short runway 16 center and monitor tower 19.9.
We do have a flight from Santa Ana coming here. There it is. That's a 737-8. They're going to disappear over there somewhere, but we'll just come back to here.
81, South Tower, rolling 16 right, clear to land. Right to land, 38.
If you're new to the channel, check in on the chat. We'd love to have you participate. We, between aircraft, we got time to chit chat about things. Kind of wonder, what people's opinions are on like their favorite aircraft. If you fly commercially, typically what type of aircraft? If you're looking, are you? Well, here's a good one. Are you booking flights based on the type of aircraft that is currently scheduled for that flight? Meaning, you really want to fly this particular type of aircraft, or you really prefer that type of aircraft. So is that making a difference in your decision when you're buying the tickets? It does for me. So I will sometimes inconvenience myself to fly on certain types of aircraft. I remember when I was very young, living in New Orleans, I would find myself trying to find the one flight from New Orleans to Dallas, where I had family, on the L-1011, because that was rare. New Orleans typically doesn't get heavy aircraft, or didn't back then. 747s, those kinds of things. Only time you would see heavy aircraft like that would be if you were, like if Air Force One came in or something like that, or you had a random cargo jet to come in. So I never got a chance to fly flights or flying on a lot of heavy aircraft when I lived in the New Orleans area. Now that I'm here, I fly over to Japan and Asia from time to time. I'm on the heavies usually most of the time. But so Drugger Norm says 747s. You know what? I would say that too. Like when the 777 came out back in the mid 90s, I would try and book that one, but I was a toss-up for me. The 777, I felt, for me, was a much more comfortable aircraft because it had more modern amenities. But back then, United did a pretty good job of keeping the 747s that they had in the fleet maintained and up to more modern standards. But that whole fleet is aging, the aircraft in general. So that's what we got here. Another 175. We're not even going to bother with that. Yeah, it always depends on where you're going. Now, believe it or not, I personally have not flown on a 787. I stopped traveling for work, which is usually when I had those opportunities, maybe 12 years ago. So right about the time the 787 was coming out and fleets were staffing up on them, I stopped flying, or, with any regularity. But I tell you what, those long haul flights, I see a lot of flights nowadays, I know Hawaii's not technically long haul. It is for a lot of people in the States, but over here in Seattle, it's not the closest city to Honolulu, but it's still a relatively short flight. I think it's 5.5 hours, somewhere around there. And if I'm sitting in a 737 in the middle seat, that whole flight, misery. Looks like we do have a heavy back behind here. Yes, we do. We have got another flight to Incheon, and this is an A350. And you can see it right there. And you can hear it too. Today would have been a good day to bring the really long shotgun mic, like the parabolic mic, to catch it. But I think this mic's doing okay. It's all right.
Delta 84, no power, only left straight, big wind.
Okay, what is coming what's inbound here? It's Delta 175, I'm guessing. 220. Okay, well, you know what? I'll pan over for the 220. Sure, why not? I'll go all the way over. Sorry, my cords are getting tangled here. Okay, there we go. Fun fact, when I was traveling on business and I was flying from San Francisco to Europe, the company would often book me on Virgin Atlantic, which was
1600, thank you.
amazing because any flight over 5 hours, you automatically got bumped up to business class. And what was cool about it is that you got a chance to experience what Virgin Atlantic called upper class. I might still call it upper class, but they sent a car to my apartment. They picked me up, drove me to San Francisco International, walked me through the security line. I mean, it's like a VIP. And when you get on a plane, they would book you there's a 220 right there. This is coming from Austin, Texas. When you got onto the plane, you would meet this person at the basically right when you walked in the plane, and they would say, "Would you like a massage?" And you're like, "What? You a massage? Sure, I'll do that." And I was shocked. I never, the worst part was, even though that flight was as long as it is, I didn't get that. Like they basically scheduled people as you got on the plane. I never made it. I never got a chance. But they did have what was the equivalent of a Super Nintendo in the back of the seat. And this is talking, this is like late 90s. This is 25 years ago. So I don't know if they still do that, but if they do, I mean, if you can fly Virgin, they're Virgin Atlantic, that would be specific here. Yep. Here's our 350 going to Incheon. I'll follow him, and we'll, as this plane takes off, you'll see it pass behind a couple of 175. It's just the size difference. I mean, I'm sure you guys know, but the size difference is it's silly.
Tower United 2205, Iowa.
United 2205, Seattle Tower, runway 16 right, clear for that.
Clearly on 16 right, United 2205.
So the word on the street is that Delta and Alaska are kind of vying for this as a primary. I mean, it already is a primary hub, but establishing routes from Seattle to destinations, way out there, like going over to Europe or going over to Asia. So they're kind of locked in this little bit of a battle right now, and I know Alaska's not ceding any territory, and I know Delta's got to establish routes that they're not going to give up. So I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one. Okay, look at this. We got a special livery here. I remember this one. I think Pip and I saw this in Portland. So this is the original Horizon livery.
3800 inbound on the ILS 16 right.
3800, Seattle Tower, runway 16 right, clear for that.
And this one is also 175. This is going to it's going to Wenatchee. Wow. Okay, that's a short flight too. Wenatchee, Washington is just over on the other side of the Cascade Mountain Range. I can't imagine. Yeah, they take off at 110, which is actually it's not taking off at 110. It's taking off well past that, 125 right now. And they're scheduled to, it says it's a 60-minute flight. It's nowhere near a 60-minute flight.
Here it comes!
Okay, sorry about that. Wrong button. I'm just going to stick to filming aircraft instead of pressing buttons. All right. So yeah, let's see what other stuff we've got going on here. So this is going to Wenatchee.
2205, turn left Quebec, left Tango, on Papa, hold short runway 1600.
Okay, what is on final? Yeah, a bunch of 175. This is commuter time. This is definitely commuter time.
On Quebec, hold short runway 1600. I'm going to hold you a bit closer.
All right, let's see. After that.
Hello, it's Virgin 105, heavy 6 miles, 165.
Look at I don't understand what that's about, but okay.
Virgin 105.
All right, let's go back to our full screen.
Southwest 1097, monitor tower 119.9. You have a good day. Virgin 105 heavy, tail tower, rolling 16 right, straight away.
165, Virgin 105.
Okay, I just heard we have a heavy on final. Because I miscued that a couple of times. I'm gonna reserve using the button too many times. Here they go.
2205, your tower 119.9.
Okay, so Virgin here from London Heathrow. We've got
Virgin 105 heavy, plan to exit Quebec.
A330.
Yeah, we'll get back. We'll go back to Virgin 105.
Tucker Norm, if you had to guess, I mean, you must have some sense of, like, in your career, how many miles you've driven.
Okay, 300, possibly the 350 one.
You got to have some sense of that. I mean, do you have a sense? You know, I mean, you put it in hundreds of thousands of miles.
Monitor tower 119.9 yesterday.
I'm curious. I'm gonna try and catch this Virgin Atlantic, which should be popping over here real soon. Yep, there it is. Got it. Alrighty, gonna go quick. 5 million miles, man, that's crazy. There it is, Virgin Atlantic. A330 from Heathrow. I remember flying the 330. I believe it was Aer Lingus. I was flying from Dublin, I think down to Heathrow or something like that. And it was in an I want to say it was a 330. It might have been a 340. No, maybe it was a 340. The cool thing about the 340, at least that one, the way it was configured, there was a window in the bathroom. That was cool. It was a little awkward when you're on the ground, but but when you're up in the air, it's kind of cool just to look out the window and see things that you don't normally see when you're on the cam.
Virgin 105 heavy, turn left, go back, hold short of tank.
I'll go back, hold short tank, we'll see.
Virgin 105 heavy, your gate is occupied.
Okay, so that Virgin aircraft, should have done that, sorry. That was my bad. I wonder if we got any fun Southwest liveries today. I don't see any coming up. got that Southwest. But now we got a whole line. That still blows my mind. 5 million miles trucking on. That's just crazy talk right there. Okay, so we do have some heavies looking. We got an A330 that's going to be going to Narita. It's Hawaiian Airlines. We have, let's see. Turn this down just a little bit. There we go. Sorry, just getting blown out. I don't want to blow people out here.
Delta 2922, Seattle Tower, rolling 16 right, clear to land.
So, British. We do have a British Airways. This is a, I believe it's a 787. Okay, that's going to be taking off out of here soon. Wow, that was. So we've got quite a few. This is a nice thing about Seattle versus Boeing Field or any of the other airports in the area. Heavy aircraft are common here. Maybe not as common as LAX or SFO, but still a decent sprinkling of them. Yeah, well, 21 years, I guess that's not too hard to get to 5 million miles if you're zigzagging all over the country pretty much the entire time. That makes sense.
Tower, Alaska 629, approaching Cinco, so 16 right.
629, Seattle Tower, rolling 16 right, clear to land.
Little land 16 right, Alaska 629.
Okay. Let's go see what's coming up here. And a whole lineup of planes. I got 757 there. Nice. So, that 757 going to Detroit. I don't know. Every time I think Detroit, I'm thinking of.
Virgin 105 Heavy, your gate's ready for you.
This is going to sound really stupid, and it's going to age me too. But yeah, I think of Beverly Hills Cop. I don't know why.
Delta 2922, to make that continue on the runway, please down. Right.
So yeah, we've got quite the lineup now. So we've got.
Roger, left Tango, then hold.
Oh, we've got a JAL flight going to Narita. Another 787.
Heavy monitor tower 19.9.
So yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 aircraft currently lined up. Going back to that 757, I remember the original 757s had the RB2, the Rolls-Royce RB211s. Those are the engines that had that very distinct roar when they were at max throttle for takeoff. I think they've since changed them out for Pratt & Whitney's now, but that was always a distinct sound that you could hear.
Affirmative, stay on Tango, hold short November, your gate's occupied. Alaska 629, turn left, Papa, hold short, rolling 16 center. 629, monitor tower, roll 9.9.
Later, Alaska, back there. Yeah, that's the 320. This one's going to Austin. And then right behind the 320, the 75 right there. Can't see it though. We had a decent sampling of aircraft today, which is pretty cool.
2330 Seattle Tower, only 16 right, signal in.
One of the nice things about this particular spot versus the other spot that I've streamed from is that this is a mixture of landing and departing traffic, arriving, departing traffic. That is always nice because, you know, just like the last time I was here, it was just 737 after 175 after 737, just over and over and over again. At least here you're catching some a better sampling. Eventually, those same planes that come in need to get out, so they're eventually going to make their way back to this part of the airport. But at least for now, we're getting a good sampling, and it's getting loud out here. All these aircraft lined up, you can probably hear it. It is. I mean, I'm at least a mile away from that plane, and you can hear the sound. It's pretty. Couldn't imagine being on the ramp. Oh, here we go. Where is it? Where is it? There he is. He zoomed in way too far. Oh man, I missed it. It was an SAS. I'll probably catch him here.
Mark 5+1 right.
There it is. Shoot. That was rare. And I'm zoomed way into way in. I can come way out and go way back in. So that SAS that just overflew us was from Copenhagen. Another long flight. Like I was saying, a good mixture of arriving and departing aircraft. Although that one kind of caught me off guard. I think you need to be listening to air traffic control a little bit more closely. If you look it up here, I'll put it back on map view for a second here. You can see, I don't know why they called this out, but why is there a Trader Joe's listed here, and their only other thing is like a park. Oh, it's a hospital too, but still, it's like, is that the important thing? I don't know. All right, there's our 75.
Horizon 2330, turn left November, hold short, rolling 16 center. Horizon 2330, monitor tower 119.9.
So I'm noticing with this zoom lens, and I'm gonna nerd out a little bit here on camera equipment, although I know you're watching for the aircraft, is that I'm noticing a lot of wobble at the max zoom, and it shouldn't really have that. So I'm not entirely sure why this would be doing what it's doing, but I'll get that fixed, or I'll figure out some other solution. But yeah, so if I just touch, here, I'm just gonna touch the tripod. See that? That's anytime I tap anything, if I tap the iPad.
R2+1 monitor tower 119.9.
So, my apologies if that makes you queasy. Try not to touch things too much, but yeah, it's unfortunate. It's just that it's zoomed. I bet if I zoom back in, it would be, or zoom out, I would be fine. Okay, so departing right now is our flight to Austin. See you later. And then the 75 was now taking the active. That is going to Detroit.
South 25 direct, monitor tower 119.9.
I have another fun story, particularly flying in the 757. The 757, I used to joke and call it the stretch 737. That's what it felt like. I mean, you get in the plane in the front. It's a long plane. But one of the cool things is that, again, going back to when I was flying for business, I went down to John Wayne, Orange County Airport in the LA area. And I was sitting in the back. And if you've ever been to Orange County, there is their noise abatement procedures there are kind of ridiculous, and you know, it's because it's in a densely populated area. I get that, but I just remember the back of the plane was like so what they do is they stay above what would be normally considered pattern altitude for for an airport. So you would fly in that pattern, and then you'd be looking down, looking out the window going, that looks like the airport, and it looked really far. And it was, because they have to fly high and then literally drop into the airport. And there is nothing, I swear, this is the best ride of my life. A little bit scared, but the plane just, I mean, he just cut the power and just dropped it. And you see everybody else in front of you because you're in this long plane like the 757. You see all these people in front of you kind of drop, and then you go with them. And it's like being on a roller coaster, like the last car in the roller coaster. John Wayne is famous, infamous, I don't know. But same thing with the takeoffs. They taxi out right to the end of the runway, aim the plane down the end of the runway, stomp on the brakes, and just gun it, and then release it. And again, you see everybody's head kind of snap back when they do that. And it's a fun ride. It's probably a little bit uneasy for some people, but I enjoyed it. I don't need to do that a lot. But there's planes coming in and out of there. There's another airport in the LA area, Burbank, where that one's a short runway, and it's just like when you land there, man, stomp it on the brakes. Matter of fact, was it back in 2000? I think it was. There was a Southwest plane. He was just coming in too hot. The runway was wet. Skidded right off the end of the runway. Almost plowed into a gas station right off the end of the runway. I don't believe that pilot ever flew again. Okay, so this is Japan Airlines flight. This is a 787 going to Narita, one of the airports in the Tokyo area.
Monitor tower 119.9. You'll be number 1 through any intersection.
Again, kind of voicing my opinion here. It's not necessarily everybody's opinion, but Narita is probably the least convenient airport I've ever flown into. It's an hour-ish outside of main area Tokyo, although it was when I first started traveling there. These days, I'm not sure how much urban sprawl there is in Tokyo, but I'm assuming that given the way that country grows, it's probably not as far for a lot of people now. But man, that getting into that airport and then trying to get into Tokyo is just the worst, especially after been a long flight. So if you're joining us, if you're tuning in, this is Geaux Flying, and spelled G-E-A-U-X, because I'm a Cajun. I was born and raised in Louisiana, and we just kind of claim words as our own by adding an E-A-U-X at the end. So that's what I did with the channel name. We're here at Seattle International, formerly known as SeaTac, but we are still in the town of SeaTac. I think it's going to take a lot longer for them to change the town name if they even do that.
347, turn off Papa, taxi, Tango, Quebec, hold short runway 16 center.
There goes our Geaux flight.
No, 347, monitor tower 119.9.
Pop up somewhere around here. Maybe. Maybe not. There it is. So coming up, we got another heavy. And this heavy, which is right here, which I'm sure you can hear. It's at A330, Hawaiian Airlines. Another flight going to Tokyo Narita.
Tower rise 2153, ILS 16 right.
Horizon 2153, Seattle Tower, only 16 right, clear to land.
16 right, clear to land, rise 2153.
According to flight radar, this aircraft is 12 years old and still painted in Hawaiian livery, I believe.
2524, turn left,
Can't
pop
see
up,
it
traffic,
just
Tango
yet.
November, hold short, only 16 center.
Looks like it is. Hiding from us in the bushes. But yeah, so after this heavy,
monitor tower 119.9.
come on, you can definitely hear those engines.
Next
Here.
2524, hold short, rolling 1600 November,
Let
monitor
me,
tower 119.9.
Let me go over to my sound source for that. Turn it up a little bit. Moving ever so slowly. Oh, here we go. Here's an ANA flight. Where are you? Come on. Ah, dang it. I gotta listen for these planes. Oh well, there it is. ANA 787 just came in. Well, at least I caught it.
Hello there, tower, schedule 7857 now, 16 right.
And there's our 330.
Clear land 16 right.
I think I need a slightly wider zoom range on this lens. I can pop out real quick and then come back in as needed. Yep, still Hawaiian livery. There you are. Just that one tree. That one tree. Not even the whole tree. Just top it. All right. Off to Japan you go, buddy. So we're approaching the 2 o'clock hour. So here's what I do in the last hour, or at least this is what I'm doing right now. It's not like I've been doing this long enough to have any kind of sense of a flow. But as we get into the last hour here at SeaTac, we'll keep an eye on any kind of special flights that are coming in, and if there's anything that pops up that I believe would be worth staying around for, of course I'll stick around. And if not, we'll just pack up and we'll make our way over to Boeing Field. It's not going to be as active as this, but it definitely has an interesting variety of aircraft that are different than what you would see here. Challengers, Gulfstreams, the occasional Boeing test flight. Although, like I was saying earlier, I don't know if this is going to be one of those days where the test planes are flying, mainly because it's Memorial Day weekend here in the States. So there they go. See you later.
Tower 1731. 1731, Seattle Tower, rolling 1, 2, try to clear to land.
You see, here's our lineup of planes. All waiting for their turn.
South 1731, Planet Quebec exit.
Planet Quebec.
All right, Trucker Norm, thanks a lot for popping in. Appreciate it. Just a heads up, what I tend to do about 24 hours after the stream's over, I will put chapter markers on all the key points from the stream, so you don't have to sit there for the remaining hour and watch every single minute. You can just kind of step through. Just makes it easier because the replays can get, I mean, if I'm not responding to your chat, then obviously it's not as much fun. So glad to have you. Thanks for popping in, and you also have a great day. Appreciate you coming in.
Seattle Tower, Giant 8190 is established ILS 1
Giant 8190, Seattle Tower, runway 12, try to stay fine.
Total land 1 right, 90.
Let me take a look at my arrivals here. Let me just see what I see.
Wind 210.
That explains it. 210 at 6. Oh, another 220's coming in. I might as well get it. So if you take a look, I'm going to pan here. Sorry if it's kind of makes you nauseous, but I can't go too far because of my cabling, the way I set this up. I'm going to have to fix this. But there's actually a small window way over here where I can catch. You can see like there's that 220. But then I'm going to go through a bunch of trees, a bunch more trees, 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 trees. Trees, 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 trees. See what I'm saying? And then our 220 pops right out there. So we don't have a very big window, but the last two heavies that came in and surprised me, they were right over me. There was no way I was going to catch them. Not with this lens. All right, so here's our American flight here. I believe this is a 321. It is. This one says it's going to Seattle. Nope, it's going to DFW. Flight radar has got to get their data in order. And yeah, let's see what we see here. So we got the 321. Of course, we've got a British Airways 787-10. Is number 4 for takeoff right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, number 5, I guess, if you count the one that's leaving us right now. All right. What is landing here? Oh, it's an Atlas 767. Where is it? There it is. So Atlas Airlines, probably some of you who've been following spotting for a long time, you've heard of them. They are cargo predominantly, but fun fact, the Boeing Dreamlifter, that modified 747 that's got the huge hump that they use to transport mainly other aircraft parts in, that is operated by Atlas Air as well. So if you go into Flight Radar and you can do a search on Dreamlifter or ChatGPT or something like that, you can do a search for the Dreamlifter tail numbers, and you can find out where they are in the world. And there's a couple stateside, there's a couple in Japan right now, and none of them are moving at the moment, so that leads me to believe that we're not going to see anything at Boeing Field Boeing related. But if that changes, if something's showing up at Payne Field tomorrow, for instance, I'm going to go there. We'll have to see. All right, so here's our Delta flight going to Phoenix. 220. See you later. And there's an Alaska flight right behind. That is going to Vegas. That's a 737-990.
Alaska 384, 7 power, only 16 right, clear to land. Alaska 384, when able, safe flight condition on follow or cloud basis.
See if we have any heavies on approach. Oh, we do. We have a 777 LR from Doha. That's going to be arriving pretty shortly here. They're just about over Boeing Field, so we should see them in the next couple of minutes. And there's our British Airways heavy. Again, likes to hide behind the trees.
3992, turn left, hop a taxi, Tango November, and hold short runway 16 center. Seattle 3992, monitor tower 119.9. Seattle 1731, they're ready for you. Back, hold short runway 16 center.
All right. A little frog in my throat there.
They're ready for you on Quebec. Hold short, runway 16 center for Delta 1731.
Okay, this Doha flight is on about a 2.5, 3 mile final at this point.
Seattle 3992, monitor tower 119.9.
Looks like, do we have another departure before the British Airways? So we do not. So we might have to get the Qatar flight first. We'll see. We'll see how this all pans out. Might get both. Hey, welcome Seattle flights. There's our Qatar. There it is. And that's why the British Airways was holding.
Tango November, hold short runway 16 center. Block 384, monitor tower 119.9.
All right. Get our focus in here. Come on, there we go. Going back to London Heathrow. Yeah, Seattle flights, this was kind of a last-minute thing for me. I managed to get a couple of days off in a row, so I figured I'm going to take advantage of the one day that I have, like, completely wiped out in terms of my schedule, and that was today. I also didn't feel like I wanted to pay for parking at the terminal. It's really expensive. All right, so there's our British Airways ready to do the takeoff roll. See what now you got to see this. This is the line. Look at the line up here. This is crazy. Traffic jam, anyone? All right, see you later, British.
Direct 717, turn left, Papa Taxi Tango November, hold front row 167.
There you are.
Direct 717, taxi via Papa Tango November, hold front row 167.
They're going to pop up somewhere around here. Wow, that must be heavy. Okay. There it goes.
Fox 746, Seattle Tower, runway 34, 16, direct, signal in.
All right, we'll get back on here. We've got, let's see here. Tampa 321. Let's see here. Yeah, you know what? I think Seattle flights, I have kind of a full-time-ish job. So it's like I look at my schedule and I kind of figure out what I want to do. I'm also still testing a lot of camera equipment. So one of the things I'm doing right now is I wanted to see how well this rental lens that I have on the camera is doing. And aside from the kind of shakiness of it, it does get in. I mean, you know where this spot is. I mean, that's a pretty good zoom factor there. It's just that anytime I touch the camera of any significance, it's going to shake. And it's just like if I tap anywhere, if I tap even all the way, this is down on the base of one of the legs. You see how it shakes like that. So it's very, very sensitive. I got to figure out the way to dampen that a little bit. And this is actually quite a decent lens for spotting at this particular location. Okay, we've got an Alaska flight coming in here. That's 737.
Okay, 229 heavy on that.
Okay, we're 229 heavy, Seattle Tower, runway 16 right, clear to land, plan to Quebec access.
69 heavy. What?
Right,
Where are you?
Got 1719, plan to pop exit.
Who's he clearing for? Oh, that's Dubai. 777 coming in from Dubai. That's not too far away. A couple minutes.
Fox 746, turn left, Papa Taxi Tango November, hold front row 167.
So welcome into the channel. This is it's quite a different day than yesterday was in terms of weather. It was darn near close to 80 degrees and probably higher in some areas, but where I live, over on the east side of Seattle, got pretty warm. Today is not so much. Today is solid overcast. I thought this might be a marine layer, but it's looking like it might be a little bit more than that. So it's a little bit chilly, and I did not dress appropriately, but I know how to run in place, so I will do that as necessary to keep warm. I wonder if they're going to put that Dubai flight. No, I don't think they will. Let's see. Where do they have it lined up? Looks like he's lined up for the right side. We'll see. And then we've got right behind Alaska 737. Headed out to, where is it? Palm Springs. Oh, okay. Oh, here's our Dubai flight coming in. This one's not going to surprise me. because I know exactly where it's going to be now. The 777-9. I'm sorry. What am I doing? 777-300 ER, I believe. Yep, there it is. Hello.
Alaska A220, traffic signaling, caution, turbulence arriving, heavy, Boeing 777.
16 right for Alaska 686.
Delta 1719 if possible, short rolling 16 center and monitor tower 119.9.
Okay, well, there it goes. It's out there somewhere, trust me. All right. Yep, definitely. First reversers just kicked in. You know what? I was thinking to myself, I was like, this tree right here, this one, if they just topped it right there. Now I know, not good for the environment, yada yada yada. I'm not advocating for that, but this tree, you can see, you would get all the way from here to here, more or less unobstructed. But they're not going to do that.
Emirates 29 heavy, monitor tower 119.9.
That's our American flight taking off here. All right, let's take a look at our lineup now, shall we? What do we have in our lineup? We do have another heavy. I can see that. Going to Charles de Gaulle. Oh, and Air France. Nice. Oh, that 787's turned around already. Going out to Incheon. Okay, cool. Yeah, we got some heavies in the lineup here.
Emirates going to pass in front of you and then make a 180 and taxi Tango Papa. We'll start rolling 1600. Scout 4068. Scout 4068. After that, Emirates passes in front of you, make a 180 and taxi Tango Papa. Hold short rolling 1600.
Yeah, Seattle flights, that would be so unfortunate. Wink, wink. And there's the lineup. As you can see, it's going all the way back to Quebec. My gosh. It just keeps going. Let's see what our delays are right now. So we've got this one aircraft heading over to 16 center. Oh, great. The wind's picking up here. That flight was supposed to leave 25 minutes ago. And this flight right behind was supposed to leave. Same thing, 25 minutes ago. So they're a 25-minute delay right now. Real time, 25 minutes. Let's see what arrivals we've got. Anything fun at the moment? I don't see anything. No, nothing. Got a decent mishmash of flights though coming in and out of here, so this will be a solid 50 minutes. Remember, after this stream later on today, I will head up to Boeing Field. I'll get up on the ramp and see what we see. It'll be probably a little less busy than what we're seeing right now, but it's a mixture of aircraft. So hopefully we'll catch some UPS freighters and maybe occasional business jet, maybe a couple of Boeing test planes that are maybe being repositioned or something like that. You never know. That's the best part about Boeing Field. You just don't know. That's also the worst part. I need to buy I'm using an iPad to do all of my graphics and everything. Well, not graphics, but the flight radar and stuff like that. And it's so bright out here. I cannot see the screen. I got to get a hood for it. Bye-bye. All right. So next up is Seattle to Portland. Good old E-175. I gotta guess that the routes that these E-175s serve are they're either A, not popular, or B, they need to run so many of them that doesn't make sense to put larger aircraft at fewer intervals between the cities. And probably they're cheaper to operate. I do not know. Seattle flights, I don't know. I don't even know about that. But you never know. A large part of it comes down to what my work schedule is, and I'll need to take a look at it. You can send me a message and give me more details about that. I'd love to take a look at it. I think I might have heard something about it, but I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to it. You can see here's our lineup, and do you see a heavy by any chance? I think I might. So that, I believe, is our British Airways. Nope, sorry, that's our Air France going to Paris. Give me a second, guys. It's going to get a little shaky here. I'm just going to reposition my iPad. There we go. That's better.
Horizon 2166 for left November, hold for Boeing 16 center. Alright, 2166, monitor tower 119.9.
Much easier to see now, too. So let's see, that E350 is third in line here. So we've got our Delta flight here, and then followed by United or Alaska, I'm sorry, and then Air France. Busy day, busy day. I mean, here, take a look. There's our lineup. It's gotten a little bit better, but there's our lineup. Prime Air arriving? Cool. Oh, did it already arrive? No.
Seattle Tower, Jazz 84 with you, 2,400. Descend to the
Jazz 804, Seattle Tower, only 16 right, clear to land.
Oh, we're getting a Dash 8 in here a little bit.
Alaska 222, November, full throttle.
Remember, those are all around here.
119 airpoints, 9er.
I just don't see them. I'll keep an eye out for that Prime Air. I'm guessing it's one of their 767s. Unless it already touched down. It didn't touch down. Okay, next up, Air France. And there it is, A350. 13-year-old A350. Wait, that's not right. Not 13. I'm tapped on the wrong thing. 1-year-old. About to say, I don't think the 350s were that old. Big aircraft. Now we have some looky-loos here. Gotta admit, I kind of like the Airbus design on the winglets.
Fox 1365, Seattle Tower, runway 16 right, signal in.
All right, buddy.
United 325.
Bring back some croissant.
Runway 16 center. United 325, monitor tower 119, foot right.
Here's our Dash 8. It's going to be super tiny and quick, but get a chance to see it. There it is. Air Canada. All right, let's take a look at the rest of our arrivals here. Focus in on this lineup real quick. We have an Alaska from Sacramento. And yeah, okay, now I see the Prime Air. They're over Capitol Hill right now, so they'll be here in a little bit. Hopefully they put them not over us like they've been doing. Kind of surprising me. So here we've got a Southwest. Let's see where everybody's going today. Cool. 37 minutes. Yep, good. I'll still be here. So this is Seattle to Vancouver, this Delta flight that's here at the departure end of the runway. And then right after that, we've got our Southwest flight going to Phoenix.
Tower, hello, good afternoon. Transport 3492, heavy ILS, runway 16 right.
Yeah, transport 3492, heavy Seattle Tower, runway 16 right, circle in.
Right here to land, 3492.
Tell you what, when the wind kicks up here, and there's not a whole lot stopping the wind, I got goosebumps right now, but that's my fault for wearing a short sleeve shirt and shorts. It's a Pacific Northwest thing, and if it gets above 50 degrees, we're wearing t-shirts and shorts. So here's Southwest, going to Phoenix. Lived in Seattle for almost 25 years now, and still not used to this weather. All right, after that is our Alaska flight, so Southwest is getting off out of here. Yeah, this Alaska flight's going to Pullman, Washington, home of the Wazoo Cougars. Take a look at our other flight. Where's our Prime Air flight? There it is. Prime Air is just a beam museum of flight right now. Oops, sorry about that. And I got eyes on the Primair, so we'll switch over. That's just a 175. So we will switch our focus over to the Primair. That is going to be popping out right about here. And should be popping out. There it is. Primair 767 from Anchorage. Okay, and then what do we got going on the departure side here? Aero Mexico, going to, you guessed it, Mexico City. 737-800. Not sure what happened on my air traffic control. Let's see if we can figure that out. It's still playing.
Air Transport
There it is.
3492 Heavy, turn left, Papa, Taxi Tango, November, hold short, runway 16.
They can- Okay, so what is coming up here? So we've got
Air Transport 3492 Heavy,
we're
monitor
in Alaska, going to
119er,
Pullman,
0.9er.
and then we've got this one going to Helena. Helena. And then right behind them is a 75 going to Atlanta, Delta. And then there's our 787 going to Incheon.
Scout 302, Center Power, runway 16 right, cleared line.
Well, that controller sounded kind of winded. There's our 75. No winglets. 25 years old, the 757. Let us take a look and see what else we got.
315 tail tower, 16 right, cleared to land, wind 2306.
A220, 321. Meh. Not worth it. We will keep an eye out for any other heavies on the inbound. I'm sure there's bound to be more. But what do we have here? We've got, of course, we've got the Alaska 78, and then we also have an E330, a Hawaiian E330 that's in the lineup too. And they're going to be, now it's hiding again. See, there's okay, one more tree. One more tree you got to top. Right there.
Delta 728 behind the heavy, and then taxi via Tango Papa, hold short of runway 16.
Well, let's see what else is happening here. Who else has their transponders on? Seattle to Burbank. That one's landed. Car has already landed.
3405 Delta Tower, runway 16 right to the land with
That's about it
2406.
at the moment. This might be our afternoon rush, and then it'll calm down for a bit, and then it'll get active again, probably closer to dinner time. And here's our 78 with the new livery. Like I said, that is a cool livery. Just very well done. Not gaudy or anything. It's just understated but effective. to Korea.
Scout 3802, taxi via Tango, Quebec, hold short of runway 16 center.
Man, I'm gonna need to defrost in between shows today. Oof. Fortunately, where I'm headed at Boeing Field, I've got access
3802,
to
monitor tower 99.
indoor facilities that I can take advantage of as needed. I wonder what the people in Korea think about a plane that's got an Alaska logo on it. What do you think about that? Or do they really even care? Probably not. Only as have geeks like us. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Alaska 315, taxi via Tango, November, hold short of runway 16 center.
So what's up next here? We've got, this is going to Denver. A320? A220, sorry. And this one, it's only 3 years old. Well, the A220s are relatively new aircraft, so makes sense.
24 Seattle Tower, let's straight to the land, wind 2107.
16 right, clear line.
Alaska 315, monitor tower 59.
We may being the operative word, do another stream from Boeing, I'm sorry, from Seattle International later tonight, depending upon, well, a number of things. I mean, obviously, I've, need a little break every now and then, that kind of stuff. But, I kind of want to see some night operations, or at least evening operations. The only problem is that there's not a lot of places from this side of the field to catch evening ops, but gonna try. We'll see. If not, I'll make it up. I will do another day sometime. We'll keep an eye on those Dreamlifters from Boeing. Like I said, they're not moving right now, but if they do end up moving, I'll see if any of them are going to end up at Painfield. All right, so right behind our Delta flight that's on the roll is a 737, American 737, going to O'Hare.
3405 on November, hold short of runway 16 center, monitor tower 99.
Tower Sky 3400, Idley 16.
3400 South Tower, you want to be straight for the land, wind 1907.
Clear line 16 right, 400.
Yeah, because I remember they had like standing up dresses, standing up dresses.
I wonder if that girl knows that her voice is on my stream. But
Yeah. No.
okay, Prime is taxiing back. I'm just trying to go through our flights here and looking at what's left. So we got the American flight going to O'Hare. Right behind that, United
I know.
to San Francisco, A320.
I'm excited to look for
Behind United is our Seattle to Honolulu flight, A330.
I could do those really easy. I'm just checking the details. I've heard these ones are really easy.
Skywest 6324 on November, hold short of runway 16 center, monitor tower 929.
You can always tell when these A300 series planes are getting close to the approach end of the runway, because they just make a lot of noise. And there's our Hawaiian 330 right there. Keep an eye out for that Delta flight from Rome. for sure.
Tower, you want to strike the land when 1907.
Okay, we got a. Well, you know what? I'll do it for the last one. Sorry, I'm talking out loud.
You should post it.
But you can see right behind this Hawaiian 330, it's just little plane, little plane, little plane.
Let's put some nice pictures because my hair does not work. My hair does not work.
There you go. There you are.
Nice.
Section 343, turn left on November.
We do have, let's see, that's the primary. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the map right now. Yep, it's all kind of standard stuff.
Tower, good afternoon. Tower 4125 is inbound on the RNAV Yankee 1 strike.
4125, Seattle
See you later, Hawaii. I'd love to be on that plane right
Strike
now.
clear to land, Scout 4125.
Shed 343, taxi to signature via Tango, Quebec. Affirmative.
All right, let's see what is next. Well, besides this lineup of regional jets, couple 7-3s. I'm going to tone down the feed now just a little bit.
Alpha, and for now, hold short of taxiway Tango.
There we go. We don't need to hear all these little planes taking off. But this is life at SeaTac. You know, this is kind of how it goes every day. Some days are worse than others in terms of traffic. And worse is probably the wrong word. Some days are busier than others. Seeing them stacked up like this is not uncommon, especially, go back to the map here. I mean, you can see they've gotten through that line pretty quickly, but over the past 45 minutes or so, they've kind of munched through that line. So I'm assuming that a lot of these aircraft, once they get going, will be in a lull, which will be good. We'll get a few landing aircraft. We'll try and catch that Delta flight from Rome. But then, there's nothing left to do here, so we can just move on. But the one thing about Seattle International is that there are no, well, not no, but the shots that you can take with cameras with semi-decent lenses are few and far between. Because Seattle, because the airport it sits on a plateau, and everything around it kind of sits a little bit lower. You can't. Even if you got closer to the airport, you can't really get a good elevation to take the shots from. That's why when we have the north flow and I can catch all those aircraft coming in for landing is because I literally can hang out right by the end of the runway. It's a perfect spot to do that. But when it comes to here, there's just, I know that they're opening up an observation deck in the terminal, which will be great, but what they have not talked about is how, or at least I haven't heard anything, is how are they going to manage that for people like me and people like Seattle Flights? That there's,
Seattle Tower Delta 332.
that are they going to allow, professional camera equipment in there? That I've gotten hassles before about bringing in some of my nicer equipment, and then they're saying, well, you have to have a permit to do that. And, there's a lot of airports actually in the country that are starting to charge plane spotters for setting up on airport property and filming. And I guess I can understand if you're making money. Clearly we're not monetized yet, so we're not making anything off of this channel. But it just begs the question: is do you want to stifle this kind of participation by the community in showing the types of activity going on here, promoting the region, those kinds of things? It just feels like it's a little short-sighted when you start charging. I mean, they already charge $32 a day for parking. So I kind of like, where are they going to charge? I've heard some places are charging streamers $50 to set up for the day, and that's just nuts. So yeah, I mean, I have gotten a visitor pass, and I've done that, but I did get a hassle. Now, to be fair, I did come in with a lot of equipment. I probably looked like I was setting up for a major shoot, like a commercial shoot, but I don't have like a little video camera. I've got, pretty big tripod. I've got batteries and, long lenses and all that other fun stuff and camera switchers and blah, blah, blah. So I don't, I walk in with an anvil case worth of stuff, and that's probably why that's set off, a couple people. So we'll see. We've been trying to get a hold of the PR person at the airport, and they just don't really reach out or reach back out. So that's unfortunate.
Right, 2372 on November, hold short of runway 16 center, monitor tower 99.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is that I do have I do have something that's not really a tripod. It's more of like it's not a monopod. It's got a solid base on it. It's a round base, and I think I could probably do that. But again, everything that I use, I don't know. I mean, do you use the Wi-Fi at the airport, or do you use your own? That's because like right now I'm obviously clearly on my own hotspot, but that's using airport Wi-Fi, is that really reliable and advisable for that matter?
Sure.
Anytime I've been in public spaces with everybody sharing the Wi-Fi, the signal's just garbage. It's just everything's so slow. It's like being on AOL dial-up from 25 years ago. It's just ugh. So, and it's like going to hotels too, same thing, right? So that's why a lot of people are bringing their own devices. So as long as they allow for that, then I'm totally fine. There's been no communication about that. See, so there you go. Yeah, I mean the hotspots they're critical. I think having your own just gives you a dedicated connection. You put password protected so no travelers can hop on your Wi-Fi, and then you're good to go.
3292 on November, hold short of runway 16 center, monitor tower 99.
Yeah, I think at some point I'll have to come up with a travel rig that I can bring into smaller spaces or on airplanes, because I don't intend to only stream from this area. I'd love to be able to stream from other regions. So why is this giving me this? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I've heard of that somebody that the airport got hacked, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. So yeah. I mean, it makes sense that they've clamped down on that stuff. But I mean, even if I have no intention of using other people's services that are free, because I know what free gets you, and it's not a whole lot of reliability. But then again, I did start almost a half hour late today because T-Mobile gave me a lot of issues for my hotspot. So I don't know, whatever. It's you just kind of roll with it, As plane spotters, you kind of have to adapt and just kind of deal with the situation that you've been dealt. So there are landing aircraft on 16 right, but I'm just not really focusing on that because they're just 320s, 321s, 175s.
For Alpha T, plan on holding short of that center there until it opens up.
And I don't, you know what? Here, let's look at this.
Tower 99, I'll get you.
Yeah, look at this. They cleared out that line. Look at that. I mean, it's just gone. there's very few aircraft on. I mean, there's plenty of aircraft on the field, but very few of them actually have their transponder turned on right now. So airport looks relatively quiet, and it is. So we'll keep an eye out for that Delta flight. I think the Delta flight might be our final flight for this location today. Let's see. Trying to find.
American 757, taxi via Tango November, hold short of runway 16 center.
All right, arrivals. Let's see. LAX is a good one. LAX. Las Vegas is a good one. Just bring lots of sunscreen or a hat or something like that, because you know what it's going to be like.
Yep.
After Tower, Alaska 580 over.
Alaska 580 Seattle Tower, you want to strike for the land, wind 1903.
Good land, 163 Alaska 580.
Yeah, just a whole lot of commuter flights here, but we'll see. We got another. Oh wait, they arrived already. The Qatar flight arrived. Qatar, I don't know. Blah blah. Let's see. Well, we'll keep an eye out. Like I said, 3 o'clock is my cutoff. Again, if something's imminent, I will stick around past 3 o'clock local. It is currently 2:40 local, so we'll do that. Pack up. I'm gonna go grab some lunch, and then we'll reset up over at Boeing Field and see what we see over there, if anything. I might have to do a comedy bit or something in between all the flights there, or lack thereof. I don't do comedy, by the way. So.
Scout 4070 on Papa, hold short of runway 16 center, and monitor tower 929.
I noticed, so like I've mentioned a couple of times, I'm originally from Louisiana, from New Orleans, and I just noticed that Flight Radar just set up another automated system at New Orleans International Airport. So now you can watch comings and goings of aircraft live, I guess, all day. Not a whole lot of activity overnight, but and the airport is in general is not a very busy airport, but I guess they will be doing that around the country. Las Vegas was the first one, and we'll see how that pans out for New Orleans. Their algorithms are any work as far as tracking aircraft, but
580 on November,
I mean, certainly it's probably the cheapest plane spotter you can put out there. It just literally looks at the database of aircraft inbound and outbound and focuses in on them. But what it did the other day, what really bummed a lot of people out, is that there was a AN 124 at New Orleans International, and the AI that they use in that system just completely missed the takeoff of that plane. It focused on something else. It was just, I don't know where it was going, but a lot of people were bummed out. You could see it in the chat. I was like, oh God, what happened here? So, there's still an element that needs to be human for this to work. And honestly, AI is not going to chit chat with you like I am right now. All right, so that is the extent of our departures on the map currently, as you can see here. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to just kind of turn over to the landing aircraft, which are not, there's not a ton of them, but they're spaced out about a minute or two from each other. So let's go ahead and switch out to that. We're going to come over this way. And go over to our lights. There we go. And we'll just hang tight. We'll see what comes up next. It looks like the next flight coming in is from Medford, Oregon. And of course, it's a 175. But we have a 737 MAX 9 on final as well, right over Boeing Field. Coming in from Redmond, Oregon.
Alaska 276, ILS 16 right.
276, Seattle Tower, 16 right, clear to land, wind 2106.
Clear to land 16 right, Alaska 276.
And then right behind, so there was the, bye. You can see now if I zoom out here.
8844, ILS 16 right.
Delta 8844, Seattle Tower, 16 right, clear to land, wind 2004.
16 right, clear to land, Delta 8844.
So this is where I'm catching most of the planes. You see this light post right over here. And if I zoom in, I've got two ways to zoom with this camera. I got the physical, or optical, what they call it, and then I've got digital like that. And digital's still nice and crisp, so I can get in pretty tight. It's me about 1.5 times more what I normally would get out of the lens, which is pretty nice. Okay, we got another one on final. Not too far from here. Looks like this is Alaska from Redmond. Got it right there. It's going to be coming out.
3044 on November, hold short of Army 16 center, monitor tower 99.
Oh, where'd I go? There it is. Got nice crisp trees, but then the plane gets out of focus. I'm about to put this back on.
Tower 2423, ILS 16 right.
2423, Seattle Tower, 16 right, clear to land, wind 2305.
Clear to land 16 right, horizon 2423.
There we go. Oh, I see sun. Nice. And it's, see, this came right at the right time. Now I can warm me up before I get in the car. Little bit of sunshine. And this is actually the perfect time of day, this time of year, to wrap from this particular vantage point, because as the sun transitions to a more westerly orientation, it will basically all the aircraft will start looking like silhouettes, and you won't really be able to pick out the details. All right, we got another one here coming. Where are you? There it is. Okay, let's get you in focus. There you are. All right, and that flight was from SFO, aka San Francisco. Okay, right behind the Delta that's just landing right now on the rollout, we have from Pasco, Washington, we've got another 175. Ooh. I should really just tone that down. I don't have anything against the 175. There's just so many of them here.
276, monitor tower 99.
And so that, he's on about a 2-mile final at this point. And then from Ketchikan is a 737-700.
Delta 8844, turn left on Papa, hold short of runway 16 center.
Here's what I'm looking at.
62, Seattle Tower, 16 right for the land, wind 2307.
Clear to land 16 right.
Delta 8844, monitor tower 99.
Let's see what is going on here. All right, guys, give me 1 second while I make some adjustments here. That one device is about to run out of juice. We don't want that happening. Fix that right now.
Horizon 2423 on November, hold short of runway 16 center, monitor tower 99.
Okay, there we go. Now I got a charger.
Tower
Sorry about that.
1358, we're ILS.
Now I'm bringing you back to our originally scheduled program.
1358, Seattle Tower, 16 right for the land, wind 1907.
16 right for the land, Delta 1358.
Okay, I know this cable is garbage because it wasn't charging the whole time. Okay.
Seattle Tower, Horizon 2084, ILS 16 right.
Horizon 2084, Seattle Tower, 16 right for the land, wind 1906.
Clear line 16 right, Horizon 2084.
Okay, we got another aircraft on final here.
Oscar Tango, proceed Tango, interconnect.
I want to thank everybody who's joined in today. It's really been a lot of fun being here. It's been fun to test some new equipment, deal with all the little issues that I've had to deal with.
16 center, monitor tower 99.
People like you that tune in that really help grow the plane spotting community. And I know I appreciate when everybody clicks on that thumbnail and loads us up. So make sure that before you pop out of here today, that you definitely do hit the like button if you liked what you saw today. And then also, subscribe, because next time I go live, you'll get a notification if you turn notifications on. Also, as I mentioned, we are not monetized on YouTube, but as somebody who's just kind of getting rolling with this, if you like what you see and you want to help the channel grow through less organic methods, aka money or donations, you can always hit us up on PayPal. We have a way to just send money direct. I don't even know if I'm going to use YouTube's monetization once we are qualified for it. But even if we do, this is the best way to send your favorite plane spotter a little scratch so that they can keep the channel going, keep the lights on, keep buying equipment that makes the stream just a little bit better each time. Okay, let's see what else is coming up here. We have a A321, Delta A321 coming in. Behind that,
1358, monitor tower 99.
another 175. We do have, from Rome, this is our Delta flight. And they look like they're lining up for the near side, which will be kind of cool, and now I'll be prepared for it.
Horizon 2084 on November, hold short of runway 16 center, monitor tower 99.
Seattle Tower, Alaska 455, RNF, Yankee 16 right.
That's 455,
All right.
Seattle Tower, 16
They are
for the
getting
land,
close. They should be on. They're right over Boeing Field at the moment.
By 3440 diesel now, 16 right.
So we're going to
Seattle Tower, 16 right for the land, wind 1905.
try and get this all situated. For our Rome flight. Once I get a visual on it, I will absolutely. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. They're close, but they're not that close. So this is an A330 that's coming in from Rome. It's been flying for 11, almost 12 hours.
November, hold short
People
over
must
runway
be tired.
16 center, monitor tower 99.
All right, about a 2.5 mile final at this point. Oh, we got to, you know what? This is a tradition, so once we get our heavy in sight, I'll sound the heavy alarm.
3679 Seattle Tower, 16 right for the land, wind 2107.
First land, 16, Skyway 3679.
There it is.
Here it come! Get ready for the heavy!
All right. That is a great way
Envoy 3440
to
on
end
November,
that
hold short over runway 16 center.
this segment of today. Oh, heard the wheels?
Envoy 3440 inch from the full gate 3 for Delta 11. You can monitor tower on 99. I'll have to stop you to hold.
All right, gang. That was a good one to end the show with. I think we've got mostly commuters coming in right now. So we're going to probably go ahead and wrap it. Like I said, we'll be at Boeing Field a little bit later this afternoon today. So feel free to pop in a little bit later. There's definitely a lot less activity at Boeing Field, especially on a weekend. But we may catch some real jumps. So be sure to tune in to kind of put it on in the background. Every now and then you might catch some flights. Also, if you miss the live stream, I do go back about a day or two after the stream has been posted. The live stream has been posted, and I will chapter mark the key components of the live stream. So you don't have to sit through every single minute of the stream to catch the highlights. So that's it. I want to say thank you for everybody who's tuned in today. It's been fun. Definitely a lot of learning going on right now for my side of things, but you guys are great. And thanks for the support, either it's liking or subscribing or both. That's really always appreciated. And I hope to catch some of you later on today when we're from Boeing Field. Until then, you guys have a good one. Take care.
455 on November, hold short of runway 1.
Charlie Foxtrot Charlie, Papa with the traffic.
Helicopter truck through crossing center line 300 feet now, no factor. That's 227 Mike, crossing winds with 3207.